Mac, thank you so much for joining me. Congrats on the win. Now, you guys are coming from an 0-2 into a 2-0. What has changed in between?
I don't think that much changed. I think the 0-2 to G2 was just a really frustrating loss for us, and maybe it took us down like a little bit of a peg because, you know, it's easy to get ahead of yourself, you know. We had like a really kind of commanding regular season win over them. So I think it was maybe in hindsight a good loss for the team.
Oh, it was like a good mental loss, kind of?
Maybe. I think it highlighted a lot of our flaws, right?
Okay, and when it comes to that, do you think that maybe some players in your team need to see the loss directly reflected in a loss for them to like take it a step forward and try to work on that?
Yeah. I mean, our players have been pretty outspoken about the fact that our scrims are not exactly peaceful and orderly. And I think some of the bad habits that we picked up in scrims kind of showed up on stage. And so that's honestly probably a good thing for the development of the team.
Absolutely. And are you, as a coach, happy with today's performance and what you saw?
Game one, I'm pretty happy. Game two was a bit more sloppy than I would have liked, for sure. So, you know, I don't think the players are going to be super happy about it either, frankly, although they were having fun. Like after the first game, we were a bit frustrated because we were going back and forth a bit. We made some silly plays. Like we went in kind of too fast, too furious a couple times. And between the games, we just kind of said, like, guys, like, let's have fun with it. Like, this is us. This is kind of who we are, you know. Maybe we should just accept it that we're kind of sometimes we're gonna jump in like monkeys and, you know, take a deep breath, smile, and go next play.
Absolutely. And from your perspective, what do you think could have been cleaned up a little bit more in that game too?
I think we should have snowballed a bit harder through top. You know, I think we have Zoe who can move into top and just make Gwen's game kind of unplayable. So I think there's that. And then there's also like giving like 5 shutdowns to Silas, which could have not happened.
Yeah, that played a little bit of a role. And thank you so much for setting my next question, because my next question was about Zoe and Niski in general. He has so many, I think 7 or 8 unique picks right now with Zoe. His role in the team seems so much different than last year, where from Roman it's like very mid-centric. How has his development been these 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always been a mid-jungle kind of 2v2 centric team. It was just different last year, but I think Yoya and Niski are like in many ways kind of the backbone or the engine of the team, or whatever analogy you want to use to describe it, you know. But I think Niski, I mean, so much credit. He deserves so much credit because I think he's a wonderful example that, like, you know, last year he was, I think, a lot more like, I don't want to say one-dimensional, but he was a lot less well-rounded as a player, right? And I think he put so much work in to overcome that, and he's a wonderful example in that regard.
Well, that was a lovely speech about Niski. And honestly, I don't want to ask you any other question because Niski is waiting over to PGL, and that was a fantastic ending to the interview. Mac, thank you very much. Congrats on winning again. And we'll toss it over to PGL with Lore, where Niski has joined them.